Imagine standing outside a dark cave 170,000 years ago, freezing your absolute tail off. The wind is finding every inch of exposed skin, stealing your warmth second by second. Stay out here too long, and your body loses a math problem it was never built to win. There's no fire nearby to save you, and no shelter deep enough to block the chill. But then, one frozen ancestor looks down at the animal pelt left over from dinner. A light bulb goes off. Wait, what if I wear that instead of just throwing it away? They throw the hide over their shoulders, and just like that, the very first garment is born. This wasn't about looking good or keeping up with trends. This was raw survival. Clothes started as a biological cheat code, a clever answer to a deadly problem. And that one desperate choice might be the main reason our species is still here today. So how do we actually figure out when humans started wearing clothes? Digging up old stuff works great for stone axes and ancient skulls. But soft things like animal fur, leather, and woven fibers completely rot away. Give it 100,000 years, and organic fabric turns into absolute nothingness. Archaeologists can't just brush off the dirt and pull a prehistoric jacket out of the ground. Physical evidence of early clothing was completely gone. The trail went cold. To crack this mystery, scientists had to become historical detectives. They needed a clever workaround to figure out what happened in our unwritten past. And surprisingly, the biggest clue came from something tiny and pretty gross. Get ready, because history was solved in the weirdest way imaginable. Meet human lice. There are two main types, head lice and body lice. Head lice are old school. They love hanging out directly in hair strands. But body lice? They don't live on skin. They live inside the seams of fabric. This means body lice literally could not exist until humans started wearing clothes. So geneticists checked the DNA of these parasites to see when they evolved. By tracking their mutation rate, they rewound the genetic clock backward in time. The result? Body lice split off from head lice roughly 170,000 years ago. That bug evolution marks the absolute earliest timestamp for human clothing. Think about that. A parasite's DNA unlocked a massive chapter of human history. Proof that back then, humans were already wearing clothes often enough to host bugs. Now, jump forward to about 40,000 years ago, where physical tools finally enter the story. Across Siberia and Europe, archaeologists made an unbelievable discovery. Actual bone and ivory needles, complete with tiny eyelets for thread. These weren't crude punches. They were precision tools designed to stitch hides together. Early humans weren't just draping animal skins anymore. They were tailoring them. Draping a hide keeps you somewhat warm, but a stitched jacket seals in your heat. Tailored garments trap body heat far better, blocking out freezing drafts. In freezing weather, loose hides meant cold misery and danger, while custom-fitted clothes meant staying warm, comfortable, and safe. The humble sewing needle was a massive technological leap forward for mankind. The arrival of tailored clothes couldn't have happened at a better time. Around 40,000 years ago, modern humans pushed deep into Ice Age territory. They walked straight into brutal Siberian winters, some of the coldest weather on Earth. You can't march into an ice age wearing loose blankets and casual optimism. You need windproof, multi-layered, heavily engineered outdoor survival gear. Stitched garments worked like extreme weather gear, keeping frostbite at bay. That tiny bone needle wasn't just a craft tool. It was essential life support. It allowed humans to explore freezing lands that should have killed us on arrival. Warm clothing kept our early ancestors alive through the harshest ice storms. Without sewn clothing, the Ice Age might have wiped us out completely. Here's a weird question. Humans existed for over 100,000 years before inventing clothes. For thousands of generations, simple campfires and caves were enough to get by. See, our bodies were originally designed for the super hot African savannas. We shed our thick ape fur millions of years ago so we could sweat and stay cool while running. Shedding our fur was a genius evolutionary upgrade for running around in the heat. But it became a total nightmare as soon as global temperatures dropped. Being hairless in a sudden cold snap is a huge design flaw. Since evolution didn't bring our fur back, humans had to fix the glitch themselves. We couldn't grow fur, so we literally borrowed it from other animals. Clothing was the ultimate patch to fix our missing body hair. Once clothes solved the warmth problem, something awesome happened. Tools over 100,000 years old show clear stains of red ochre powder. Prehistoric humans weren't just scraping hides, they were painting and decorating them. Suddenly, outfits weren't just about survival, they were about style. Clothing crossed a major line from keep me warm to look at me. People started expressing who they were through what they wore. It became a canvas for early artistic expression and creativity. Stepping up to the campfire in a freshly dyed pelt definitely turned heads. Different colors and patterns showed off your unique personality and vibe. And just like that, personal fashion was officially invented. Clothing became one of humanity's very first visual communication tools. You could spot a friend from across a wide valley before they even said a word. Patterns instantly signaled which tribe or family group you belonged to. Special furs and ornaments showed status, leadership, and respect. Wearing mammoth beads told everyone, hey, I'm an elite hunter. It was a silent language, broadcasting information without shouting. It helped build trust and understanding between neighboring groups. Before written alphabets existed, fabric spoke loud and clear. Your wardrobe carried your story everywhere you traveled. Long before social media, your clothes were your public profile. Before clothes, humans were completely stuck in warm equatorial regions. Cold climates were a hard barrier that our bare bodies couldn't cross. Warm clothing acted like the ultimate biological cheat code. It allowed a tropical animal to march straight into freezing Arctic snow. Humans migrated across Europe, through icy Siberia, and into the Americas. They crossed giant ice bridges that would have otherwise frozen them solid. This technology unlocked every single continent on planet Earth for us. Without warm gear, humans might still be confined to a few warm valleys. Clothes gave us the key to explore, adapt, and settle everywhere. We transformed from local tropical creatures into global conquerors. What started as a desperate scramble for warmth became an unbroken tradition. Every hoodie, uniform, dress, and jacket traces back to that first pelt. It's a 170,000-year-old human story that connects every single one of us. Next time you zip up your favorite jacket on a cold, breezy morning, remember the cold caveman who looked at an animal hide and had a wild idea. You're connected across thousands of years to that very first spark of creativity. You aren't just putting on clothes to look good or head out the door. You are using one of the most important survival inventions in human history. A project started by shivering ancestors long before we even had words. So, stay warm out there and keep our oldest tradition alive.